when it comes to work, research and experiments have shown that there's this thing called the Pomodoro effect. So the way our brain works, we remember things that are at the beginning and the end of a specific activity, just to test yourself. If you think of the last event or the last party that you've been at, is the memories of what happened in between is pretty vague, and you remember more of the beginning part or the ending part. And that's not because you're going loopy or you're unique. Every single human brain works like that. So how could you use that effect to your benefit? So don't have very long sessions when you're tackling a piece of work. Chunk it out into smaller bits. Ideally, 45 minutes to an hour. Of course, I'm not suggesting that then I'm going to work only for 1 hour. But you can break up your day so that if you have a project or a task, you break it up. And if you draw a graph, the effect is such that if you do 3 hours, you draw a graph, you lose a lot of what time you've invested. But if you draw smaller loops, you realize that actually a lot more gets done. How that can be beneficial is that the productivity increases, but at the same time, it blends in very nicely to the second part, which is when Gino was talking about taking breaks. It's very important every 45 minutes to an hour to take a break, especially for those who are sitting down. The worst thing in the modern society and the world that we are in now, we're spending too much time sitting down. If you understand research work, there is this phrase which is sitting is the new smoking. Actually sitting down and not moving for long periods of time in any particular day, which is what we do, typically 8 to 10 hours, is not what the Homo sapien body has evolved to be operating. And that creates many problems, which are the cardiac problems, obesity, and many other really bad habits. Stand up, and the infrastructure of the work environment, if it's well designed, will then facilitate and stimulate you to walk and get some water, have a chat with your colleague, or do some other bits of this and that in between the 1 hour blocks. And that is what I call activity versus inactivity. Inactivity is classed by the World Health Organization as the fourth killer in the world. But we're not really focusing on it. And you can change your little lifestyle habits every day to be more productive and also get yourself to be in a much better place by being active.